This is the time change weekend. Don't forget to set your clocks ahead 1 hour for going to bed Saturday night. Jacob.
All right, thanks, Steve. I'm here with John Etter, and we're doing something that's just a little bit different than what American art is. What is it called?
It's called Chinese brush painting.
Okay. And there's even a way to hold the brush. Now, can you just demonstrate? Because I know that we're going to do it. How do you do it?
Sure. I try to teach people the first thing, 2 fingers on one side and a thumb on the other, and your ring finger and a little finger behind, and you hold it in an upright position.
Okay.
You're doing great.
I mean, we did practice yesterday.
Well, we did practice, yeah, but you did great.
Okay, now, there's even a way to grind the ink up, and I think it's this thing right here, isn't it?
Yeah, this is called an ink stone, and this is an ink stick.
Okay.
And, of course, they're all real pretty. They design them so prettily.
I know, look at the design on that. It's got, what is this? Do you know what that says?
Heavens, no.
Oh, well, okay.
It's the calligraphy that they use all over China.
Okay.
And this is a little water dropper so that we don't spill water all over the ink stone. So I'll let a little water go onto the ink stone. This is a Duan ink stone, real famous. And you've practiced this too, so grind me some ink right quick. And look how quickly the black...
Is this happening? This is
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it happens very quickly.
Is it happening? All right, so we have our ink. Now, what do we do now?
Okay, we paint.
Okay, paint.
What do you want to do now?
We're going to do a fish. We got these fish right behind us that I know that we practiced on them yesterday, but there's a way to kind of the fluid motion. Now, what is it?
Well, we just use the side of the brush.
Okay.
You know, I tried to teach you yesterday to use the tip of the point of the brush, but when we do those, well, the tail and the body of the fish. Let me just take one piece of paper. You're going to do it now, aren't you, young man?
Yes. I mean, that's why I'm standing next to you.
Let me take one piece of paper here.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to lay the brush down on the side, sort of.
Okay. Can I go do it with you?
Yeah, you go ahead and load your brush.
All right.
Load your brush, and then you make a couple of strokes sideways like that. And then you've got a body of a fish.
No, I don't.
Sure you do. Sure you do.
Hang on,
well, you didn't have quite enough liquid, maybe.
Sorry. Now, how did you get involved with this stuff?
You want the whole story?
Well,
my wife had me in a store one day and said, "Look at this art kit." I said, "Honey, no. I ride mountain bikes, road bikes. I'm a rock climber. I play golf. I don't need another hobby. Come look at it, John." So I fell in love with it.
All right. Well, we'll get the full story coming up a little bit later on in Daybreak. Stay with us.
At Ascension Academy.
All right, thanks so much for joining us, Leanne.
Thanks for having me.
Back over to you, Jacob and Meredith.
All right, guys, we're back here with John Etter, who is doing a little Chinese art with us, and Meredith is joining us. But, John, I really want to get into the story of how you got into this, because I know that you were in the Vietnam War. Can you just go off of that? Because I know it's a good story.
Yeah, I have post-traumatic stress disorder. Mm-hmm. You know, I have PTSD. You've heard of that. From combat in Vietnam. So when Vicki had me buy this little art kit, I found that this grinding ink is very therapeutic. So when I start my paintings, I'll be sitting in my studio and I'll grind that ink very systematically, slowly, and it helps my, they call it chi, your spirit. Your spirit, your chi is supposed to flow down from your brain, through your body, out through your arm, out through your brush, onto your paper.
Oh, I love that.
So, you know, that therapeutic part of grinding the ink, I love grinding the ink. It's easier to use ready-made inks, but that grinding the ink was so important for me, so that's how I started.
Oh, I love that story. That's really cool. I need some good chi. Do you see who I work with in the studio? You've been watching. Okay. So you kind of taught me how to hold this. So it's 2 fingers.
Not too sure what that's supposed to mean.
Now here's your ink, Jacob, and here's yours, Meredith.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to use blue and yellow. So
do we mix them together?
Am I doing this?
What I want you to do is here, get a little more water.
Okay.
Put it in your yellow and get your brush loaded with yellow. Jacob, same thing. Get your brush loaded with yellow first.
Okay.
Little water, load it with yellow.
Okay.
Okay, and then dip the tip in blue. That doesn't matter. Just paint your fish.
Anyway.
Paint your fish.
Okay.
Yeah, try to make it, you know,
look like yours.
Lay it down sort of flat.
Okay.
Well, try to make it look like this painting back here. That's good.
Well, we're going to keep on working with on these fish, so be sure to keep watching Daybreak after this.
Yes.
Jacob Bradford is always changing things up in studio, and we love it this morning. He's getting creative.
Yeah, he's joining us with Spunky's there, right?
Yeah, I got Spunky with me right now. But, you know, we did the Chinese brush painting, but this is all part of, you know, what you're incorporating kids into this. What's going on today?
Next week is Spring Break Art Camp from the 11th through the 14th, Monday through Thursday. The kids are going to come to the school from 9 to noon, and we're going to do some really fun stuff.
Now, we got some really fun-looking stuff around here. What is this thing?
This is weaving. We have a new fiber arts program at the school with Pam Allison, and she's going to do a weaving project with the kids. They're going to make looms from nature, and they're going to work with yarn.
And even, I mean, this is a weird, did you make this?
This is paper mache.
Did you make it?
My 4 children and I did.
They're beautiful. It looks great. But what is it? Like, it's paper mache. How do you make it?
Paper mache, this little fish, started with a balloon and then torn newspaper and flour and water.
So everything that's right here is what y'all are doing at
These are part of our projects.
How much does it cost for a kid to come in?
$130 per student with all supplies included.
And what does it mean by supplies?
Anything that they need to complete their masterpieces for the week.
So you just drop off your kid and you're good to go. Okay, cool. What is this thing?
That's clay.
It's heavy.
We have somebody teaching clay to the kids as well, Brian Guffey.
And I know that this is a bunch of yarn, but what is going on over here? What is all this?
That is going to be part of our weaving project.
Oh, that's what goes over here? So you take all this and make it into that. Do you have a teacher who does that?
Pam Allison.
Cool. Well, what else is going on? I know that there's a
Chinese brush painting,
which is what we've been practicing on all day. So let's go ahead and toss it over to break. We'll be back here in a little bit.